Okay, so I've got my orange. I've got my blue. I'm going to fill this in. Blue. You might have already done yours if you labeled and caught up quickly. And we went over different ways to go through your color wheel and progress through your color wheel. When we did the orange, we had red and yellow, we made orange, and then I added a little red to make it red orange to orange, I added a little yellow, and that's how I ended up with 3. With blue green, we just progressed from yellow to blue by adding a little more blue each time. That's how this is going to feel. We're going to add a little more each time. Okay? And yes, the Sharpie will help make the boxes look cleaner. I see that question. Okay, so like we did here, yellow to blue, we're going to start with our lighter color. And of these two, I would consider orange my lighter color. Again, you might not be working with orange. Red and green, you pick which one you consider lighter. And yellow and violet, obviously yellow is a lighter color. Okay? So, we've got this orange here. You could scoop it out and start a new thing. I'm gonna kind of ruin this orange, okay, by adding a little bit of blue. I'm just gonna do one thing of blue to it and let the orange overdo the rest, because it's still supposed to be pretty orange right here. See how it makes brown? Complementary colors make brown. My orange is a little dry, so I'm really scooping it out and trying to mix it in. So just one little thing of blue, not a lot. I'm ready to paint this next to it. So we call this an intensity scale. Intensity is the saturation, the pure strength of a color. And when it's fresh out of the tube, it's very strong. It's unmuted. Get a little bit of water. But now that I've added its complement, it's a little bit duller. It's still orange, but we might call this like burnt orange, like UT. Do I have any Longhorn fans? That's where my husband went to school. We're a Longhorn house.
So blue and red is comes with orange, huh?
Which color are you trying to make?
Orange.
Orange is yellow and red. Yellow and red. Yeah, that's a good review. So that if your orange is completely dried up and you need to remake it, yellow and red. That's a good little review. Okay? Orange and one step down. Okay, I need to get a little closer. So what am I going to do here? Add another thing of blue. And it will dry lighter. That blue is pretty dark. You do not need a lot to get it to that 50-50 stage. Okay. Take another thing of blue. Again, just one goes a long way. And you'll be doing these same steps if you used green and red or yellow and violet. Yellow and violet start with the yellow and gradually add drops of violet. Yellow is real easy to overpower. You only need a little bit. There we go. Very brown now. We with me so far, virtual learners? The colors aren't great on the screen. Hopefully they're okay for you at home. What are we going to do now? Have more blue. Did you guys know how to make brown before this? No? Yeah. I've gotten the answer a lot of people say is you just mix all the colors together, which is kind of true because we're mixing blue and we're mixing orange. Orange is yellow and red. So that's the three primaries, yes, but in a different proportion, right? Because there's a lot more blue and only half as much there to make up orange. Okay, now we've got a good, if you're doing blue and orange, you should have just like a milk chocolate. You ever seen one of those chocolate fondue things, chocolate fountain? Kind of looks like that color right now. Or baby blue, you know, whichever way you want to go with it. Kind of looks like that. And when you've got this color in the middle, that's like pure brown, do we have the word brown written anywhere on our paper? Yeah, down in the neutrals. So while I have it made, I'm going to go ahead and put it down there too.
more green and brown.
Are you doing green and red?
No, I'm doing
Blue,
the
blue and orange? It's okay. As long as it goes in a progression.
Okay.
Mine will get probably what yours is on the next one. It's all right. And it'll dry lighter. They might kind of look the same right now. When they dry, you'll see more of a distinction between the colors. I've got my brown. I'm going to set some aside because I know I have this beige, which I'm not ready to cover yet. I'm going to scoop some of this pretty brown out. I'm going to put it in its own little, I'm going to put it right here next to it because that one is like totally dry. Unusable anyway. So I'm going to put it there. Save that for later. Okay? And again, I'm ready to add more blue. Just one scoop at a time. And it does kind of turn to like a greeny brown. Which sometimes you want this color. This is like a good army green, kind of, or olive green. You never know when you might want some of these colors, so it's good to know how to make them. When you're thinking about your animal, if there's one color you're going to use a lot of, definitely consider how much you need to make so that it doesn't dry out, because it is hard to match a color exactly if you run out. You can always fade it in, but if you know, like, oh, I'm going to do a lot of violet on my animal, then make a big batch of it in your palette. Okay, and now more blue. You get quite a bit this time. There we go. Now it kind of looks like a forest green. It's pretty. And when you look at this color, you wouldn't necessarily think, oh, it has orange in it. But it does. Okay, so I'm done with my complementary band. And now I'm going to try and make this beige. I'm going to play with this beige color. So beige is like a lighter shade than brown. How can we make a color lighter? Add white. Good. Good, good, good. Add some white. I set aside some brown in here. My brush is very dirty. Let's try and get this clean before I go touching that pure white. And you can tell the texture of the white is different too. It kind of looks like cottage cheese, whereas the yellow looks like pure liquid. The paint's just different based on what is made to make them. Okay, so I'm opening my white and I'm going to add a little bit to my brown. You can always go back and add more. And I think that's even too much. Just a little bit to my brown. It's pretty good. I'm going to do a little bit more white, so let me rinse it again. Lighten it up. If it starts looking chalky though, like for instance we were trying to make skin tone, just adding white to it, it looks flat. You kind of lose the color that's under our skin, you know, the blood that flows. It gives our skin some color. You could go back and add yellow or orange or red to kind of bring it out of a chalky stage. So far it looks pretty good though. Okay, so I think that's a nice light brown beige color. You decide how much white and how light you want to make it. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Tomorrow we can fill in this monochromatic one, black, gray, and white. I'm also gonna add in my yellow here that I just missed because we labeled after starting. But yeah, try and get to that point today.